Hi everybody, welcome back to another episode of Honeysuckle Homestead Retreat. If you're new to my channel, my name is Desiree and this is the little Geo. He wanted me to hold him, so I'm holding him. But today I am going to be talking to you about electricity. So believe it or not, my house is still not connected to any electricity. Now, if you've been watching my channel, you do know that I have solar panels on my barn and I do have a battery bank in my barn as well. But what I do not have is the connection from the barn to the house. I've already got everything that I need to connect the barn to the house. It's just I haven't done it yet. It's kind of a big job because I have all the cable, but I've got to cut the cable and I also have to run it through a conduit, and then I have to dig a trench for part of the way. Another part of the way it's going to be like under some bridging and stuff, but for the most part it's a really big job, and to be quite honest, I keep putting it off. So my house still doesn't have electricity. Now for a little while I was running a generator for it that was a dual fuel generator. So it was propane and gas. So I could run either one on it. And it was working fine. It served its purpose for sure. I actually had two generators. The reason I had two is because I didn't want one big one that was super heavy. It was easier to just maneuver two. And I had a connector that actually connected them together. But I am not a fan of like gas or even propane generators. They do make noise, even though these are on the quieter side. And I also don't like the exhaust that they're shooting out. I did notice that any plant vegetation that was in the exhaust zone just totally died and looked awful. So I'm not really a fan of those generators, which is why I ended up buying an all-electric generator. It is called the Ecoflow Pro. But it is from a company called Ecoflow, and they have a ton of different battery generators, and this was like one of their newest models. I actually got it on Kickstarter or Indiegogo, one of those. I don't know, I can't remember which one they were on. I want to say it was Kickstarter. And basically, I was able to get this generator for a fraction of what they're selling it for now, which is really nice. I did have to wait almost a year for it to arrive. Keep in mind, I purchased this generator while my house was being built. And I've had the generator since the end of December. And we are in March now, almost April. We're basically in April now. Yeah, April. So by the time this video comes out, it will definitely be April. So I haven't had the generator that long, but I have used it a few times, and I will say it's pretty awesome because I can actually plug my house just directly into the generator, which is great. It will power the house. If I don't run any like heating or air or anything other than lights, it will power the house for about 2.5 days, which is amazing. So that's with me getting all my heat from my wood stove and cooking on a propane cooktop and only running lights. So that's pretty cool. Now, I came in last night. I got in a little late last night, and I did not feel like starting up my fire. So I decided to run my ductless heating and air system last night to warm up the house. And I was really curious how long the generator would last while it was pulling that kind of electricity. And surprisingly, it lasted for quite a bit. I'd say it ran for about 6-7 hours. And then I ended up cutting it off completely when it just had 10% left in the charge. One of the things I really like about this generator is it has an app that comes with it. So I can monitor from afar on my phone like how the generator is doing. The first time that I brought that generator here, I actually brought it inside the house, and I ran my what's it called? My 30 amp electric connection cable thing through the window and powered my house from inside my house. The reason I did that is because it was rainy or snowy or whatever, and I didn't want to leave the generator outside. Now, keep in mind, this was also back when I had my BMW, but now I have the Subaru. And so what I decided to do last night was to actually keep the generator in the vehicle, and then I ran the line, the 30 amp hookup line, inside of my car through the window, and I put a towel up there, and I kind of rolled the window up as far as it would go with the cable in it, and then the towel to kind of like keep bugs or anything out. Not that there's any bugs right now because it's so cold, but you never know. Bugs, spiders, whatever. And then I put a tarp from like the roof of my car all the way over so that it covered the window as well, because it did rain last night. I would do that anyway because you never know when you're going to have a little pop-up rain shower. So that protected my car from getting wet inside even more so than the towel would have done. So it worked out really well, and I was able to monitor the generator while I was inside my tiny house through the app. So I can actually turn the generator on and off with the app. I can see how much electricity is left in the generator, and it's really cool. I really like it for that. So my plan is I'm going to do that again tonight. I'm just going to run the generator again tonight. However, I have started a fire in my wood stove, and I'm going to go ahead and warm up the house ahead of time with the fire, and hopefully that will help, you know, just not drain as much energy as quickly. So, and it is a little warmer now up here in the mountains than it was, let's say, in January or February when it was snowing. So it is a little bit easier to warm the house because instead of it being 30 degrees outside during the daytime, it's at least 55-ish. So that is, you know, a lot more bearable than when it was freezing outside at all times. So it is a little easier now to keep the house warm. The other really cool thing about this generator is when it's completely depleted, since I'm leaving it in my car, all I have to do is drive over to my barn and I can plug it up and charge it up, and it only takes 2 hours for it to completely charge. It is a very fast charge, and that's just with a regular outlet. That's not like any kind of fast charging station or anything like that. Now, with that said, you actually can take this generator to like a car charging station and charge it up that way as well. So that is another option. I'm not sure how long it would take to charge that way. I would assume it would take even less time to charge, but I have not tried that yet. I took this chart from the Ecoflow website, and it basically shows you the charge times for all the various input methods that you can use, whether it be solar, EV charging, regular household outlet charging, or car charging. And this diagram from the website shows what comes in the box. Of course, you get your Ecoflow Pro, but you also get an AC charging cable, a solar charging cable, a car charging cable, and your regular outlet AC charging cable. In addition to that, the Ecoflow Pro also comes with a Delta Pro to Smart Generator adapter. So if you end up getting one of their smart generators, you can also charge your Ecoflow Pro with their smart generator, which is fueled by gasoline. As a backer for Ecoflow and one of the earlier purchases of Ecoflow Pro, I was actually given this cover after they reached a certain number of orders. They promised to give out this cover to their first few backers. So I was one of the lucky ones to get this protective cover. And it's really great because I'm able to store all the cables and stuff that came with it up in the top here. So I've got all these cables stored up top. This unit weighs 100 pounds, but it does have wheels, which helps tremendously with transport. It has this handle right here, so you can just roll it. It rolls fairly easily. Now on the back of the unit, this is where you can recharge your Ecoflow Pro. So there's solar and car input. That's the AC charge speed. And this is just charging up to a regular outlet. So you can either do fast charge or slow or custom charge. I just keep it on the fast charge. So this says extra battery port. I believe this is where you would hook up an extra battery to it because you can daisy chain like extra batteries to increase your output. These are some of the other ports located on the side. All right, so this is where you connect for EV charging. I haven't actually tried this charging method yet, but once I do, I will let you guys know how it goes. So it has various ports where you can hook up to it to get your energy. I got the 30 amp here, which is what I use to hook my house up. And then we also have the 20 amp max, which is your regular household outlet. And then they also have USB-C and fast charge, and then your regular USB cables. And then to turn it on, you just hit this button here. And it'll tell you how many days are left on the charge, the percent of battery left, and your input and output. And then whenever you connect here to any of these ports down here, in order to make them work, you have to hit this button to turn that on. And you can also hit it to turn it off. At this moment in time, I would definitely give the Ecoflow Pro 5 stars. I've enjoyed it. It has worked very well for me. It's very easy to use, very user-friendly. It's been super useful to me on my homestead, especially in my tiny home, where I don't have permanent electricity at the moment. So, and once I do have permanent electricity, it will serve as a fantastic backup generator for me. So I am extremely happy with my purchase. If you are interested in the Ecoflow Pro or any of the other Ecoflow products, I would really appreciate it if you would click on my affiliate link in the description below. It won't cost you any extra and it will help support the channel. So thank you for clicking on that. Okay guys, that is it for this week's episode. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate every single one of you. If you can, please remember to like and subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. I really appreciate all my subscribers. I thank you guys so much, and I'll see you next time. So, I decided I would just plug in the house's generator and run my heat inverter heater thing. I don't know what these things are called. I guess it's an inverter. But I decided it's one of those, oh shoot, what are they called? And then I have to dig a little bit of a trench, and then I have to run it all the way to the house, which is about 300 feet. So we're talking about a football field. No, 300 yards is a football field. Yeah. Anyway, so